Hey guys, it's Zach from moveSKILL.com. I'm here with Nancy today. We're going to be going over rowing and rowing technique. This is something a lot of people struggle with, so I really recommend you don't ignore it. This generally isn't something we just do on its own, so usually when we have you row, we're going to also have you do some sort of other movement. And the more efficient you can be on the rower, the more efficient you can be with the rest of your workout, and the more energy you're going to save. You're just going to do better. So let's kind of start from the setup. The first thing I want you to do is make sure that the straps are set up for your feet. You should have that strap set just above the ball of your foot. So if Nancy comes forward, you'll see her heel can lift and she can flex right at the toe. All right, this is going to be our start position. So she's going to slide forward. She can go ahead and pick up the handle. Neutral spine, okay? Shoulders are retracted slightly, all right? And she's leaning forward. You'll see she's got pretty good ankle flexibility. If her heels lift up a little bit at this point, that's actually okay. We don't have a problem with that. What we don't want to see at any point during the movement is rounding of thoracic spine or reaching extra far with the shoulders. So this is a pretty lousy position. She's going to be pulling out of this with some aggression, and that's not what we want to be doing. So nice and tall, sitting from here. 90% of this movement is legs. Okay, so the first thing I want you to just practice is just a really aggressive drive back. And I want you to notice something here. Go back to the front. She's driving from this kind of central point right in the middle of her back, not from her hips. So as she drives, good, she's pulling back as a lever. And you can start to hear the fan going here. Again, give me a few good ones. Okay. So you can even practice this without bending your arms, just a straight drive, and you can hear the fan going, right? What we're doing with our arms is finishing the pull. So after her legs lock out, okay, so nice and slow, then her arms will bend. So she'll drive through the legs and then pull with the arms. A mistake we see a lot of the times is from the beginning, people will be forward and their elbows are bent, and they're pulling, right? Before their legs have straightened out. Yeah, like that. Don't do that. So, long aggressive drive through the legs. She's going to lean back about 5 or so degrees, and she's pulling the handle right to her sternum. From here, on the recovery, the first thing that needs to happen is her arms need to straighten out. Then her shoulders come back, and then her knees bend. And she's back to where she started. Arms, shoulders, knees. Good. The pace of this is important, and actually the ratio of your pull to your recovery is also important. There's a misconception that the faster you go, the faster you row, and that's not necessarily true. The more aggressive you are with the drive, the faster you'll go. This ratio should be a 1 to 2, maybe even a 1 to 3. It depends on what you're doing. But she's going to pull fast and then take her time on the recovery. Pull fast, time on the recovery. Right? So if you're going back and forth really fast, you're probably only doing one thing, and that's making yourself more exhausted. All right, let's go over some things we see go wrong with the recovery. So Nancy's going to pull back. The biggest one is knees bending too early. So knees come up, and then she returns the handles. She has to lift the handle over her knees. Okay? Yeah, do a few bad ones. So we don't want to see this. You're not actually in a boat paddling, so don't worry about that. What we want to see, again, is from the back, arms first, and then knees. And notice how the chain here is staying super level. She's not whipping this thing up or down. A lot of times we'll see people dip it too low, lift it up too high. Okay? Keep this at the same level the whole time. All right. Another issue we see, the butt scoot. People drive back and they, oh, you can do worse than that, come on. They drag their hips forward, yeah, in this reclined position. In fact, the problem is Nancy's actually too good at rowing. We see this where people will stay in this reclined position the entire time, and even at the front of the drive, they'll be in this reclined position, right? Another issue we see is over reclining on the pole and driving or pulling the handle up to your neck, or I've seen people go to their eyebrows before. So back here, she's doing a lot of work, right? Like, she's working hard in her abs right now. If you're rowing and by the end you're totally fatigued in your midline, this is probably what's going on. Don't do that. All right, let's show them how to do it right just so they don't get confused here. Nice aggressive pull, arms, shoulders, knees. Notice the speed in which her arms return. It's almost as if the chain is pulling her hands back. There's sometimes a pause that people do on the drive back that we don't want to see, where they hang out there. As fast as you can, arms go back, almost like it's bouncing off your chest. There you go. One more thing that will really help you out in the long run. I want you to take your feet out of the straps, okay? Something that happens a lot that we see is that people rely on the straps to catch them every single time. What happens when you use the straps and you're catching yourself, you might see this, you might have seen this, you might even be guilty of this. If you row really hard and you end up moving the rower across the room backwards because you're catching yourself with the straps every time. What I want you to do is take your feet out of the straps and learn how to drive hard and then decelerate your body with your arms. And what that's going to do is that's going to put more energy into the fan and less energy into the frame of the rower. So if you're really snapping back hard on those straps, you're wasting a lot of potential energy that could get you done with this row faster. Be careful when you do this. I've seen this a few times that people go in hot and they shoot right off the backside of the rower, so make sure that you're ready for this and start easy. But by the end, you should be doing as aggressive or more aggressive a pull than you did with your feet in the straps. So take this nice and slow, work on it. I really recommend actually taking your cell phone and videotaping yourself from the side so you can actually see what's going on. A lot of times you have this mental image of what's going on that's not actually the case, so that helps a lot of people out. I hope this helps you. Have a good one.